Hello everyone, my name is Matt or Metabulous and I'm a 16-year-old indie game developer. This is the Indie Dev Chat and I'm here with Tommy who's developing Holocene. Hello.
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Have you
How are
had
you?
a I'm doing good. Have you had a good day?
Yes, I just returned from work,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
so
Yeah, I only
had a
just returned
quick
from
meal.
college. Yeah. College is slowly stacking up now. We learnt about taxes and stuff and it's like my brain's
Oh,
bleeding.
nice.
uh
Taxes. All right.
yes. So tell us about what you do for those who aren't aware.
What I do? Well, what I'm doing. That's the most difficult question you
So
can
like
ask.
your work, like you know,
My game work.
yeah, your game work.
Yeah, well, just getting started actually.
Mhm.
I'm making a game. I called it a Holocene, and it's supposed to be a RTS, real-time strategy game, but I think I'm switching to some sort of Stone Age simulation,
Mhm.
but I'm not sure yet, actually.
Yeah, yeah. So it's on
So
like the
I'm,
cusp of sort of being the Stone Age simulation, but at the same time, you're not sure if you want it to be an RTS.
yes,
Yeah,
sort of.
yeah.
It's difficult to explain because I don't really know yet.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I'm trying to make decisions about what I'm trying to do. I have a trip to my office where I work as a programmer for boring stuff,
Mhm.
and I take the bus over there, and I have my notebooks with me and write
Ah,
down
yes,
whatever
yes.
comes to mind. And
Yeah. Very game development style. I like it.
yes, yes.
That's what I do as well. I'm in the car going to college. If I think of any idea, I just get my
Yeah.
notepad out and I'm like, right,
Mhm.
quickly jot this down.
Yes, that's the right thing to do.
And then my mum's just like, what are you doing? And I'm like, this is game development.
They don't understand. They
Yeah,
never do.
they never understand what on earth's going on, but they're like, yeah, okay, sure. um, So to start
Yeah.
with, I'm going to ask you a few questions so people can truly understand you and your game development, and then we'll
Mhm.
move on to some topics.
Yes,
So,
sure.
what inspired you to create games?
To create games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, I started way before you were born, I guess. When I was your age, about
Oh, really?
just fiddling around. I always liked programming in uh, GW Basic.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard in English to to pronounce.
Yeah, yeah,
And other languages, just trying to get something done.
yeah.
And now in January, I just gave myself the New Year's resolution to make games really and
Mm-hmm.
learn how it works.
Yeah.
And I never look back actually.
That's
So
good.
it's
That's good.
it's an old thing
Yeah.
since I was young. I
Mm-hmm.
still am young, but I'm not that young anymore.
Yeah.
And it's getting speed now, actually.
So what changed to make you want to make that your New Year's resolution?
I don't know. I was looking around. Sometimes you stumble into on a site, and there was a site. I don't really remember, but I can look it up. Links in the description.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I found a site where someone explained C sharp and how to make a simple poor graphics RPG
Mm-hmm.
on Visual Studios with object-oriented programming, which I never do at the office.
Yeah.
So I found it very interesting and
Yeah.
went
So you
looking
thought
for
you just
more.
jumped in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think we sort of, I guess we sort of the same sort of thing because I had started over 2 years ago with game development, but I've been
Hmm.
doing programming for 6 years now. And when I did
Hmm.
start yeah, I mean, I don't really know what inspired me to make games. I mean, I've always been into games, right? So I guess that's kind of a big driving force.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess I stumbled upon I must have stumbled upon a tutorial or something or a course or
Yeah.
something. And then I just was like, you know what, let's do it. And yeah, I guess from there, that's sort of how I got inspired as well, really.
Yeah. What kind of stuff were you making before you started
Uh,
with game stuff?
God.
Or are you ashamed?
I mean, I'm not ashamed. I mean, it was quite good programs. I did a
Yeah.
lot of SQL and stuff as well.
Hmm.
I I remember doing something for my granddad at one point. Like he works for like the council, and
Yeah.
I think I had to do like databases and stuff. I always found it really
Hmm.
interesting doing like programming and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't really remember much about it, to be honest, because
It's a
like
long time ago, right?
yeah, because I don't think I thoroughly enjoyed it as much as I do with the game dev stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
All
don't
right.
know. So sorry. What was the first game or prototype that you made?
The first one. It's in the last year about, or just the first ever?
First ever, really.
First ever.
Whatever one you
Uh,
can think of.
I remember making quizzes on Basic, for instance. Is that a game?
Yeah, I guess it is a game, yeah.
Yeah.
Games come in all shapes and sizes.
Those were very fun.
Hmm.
So I asked. I programmed the program to ask what's your name, hi name, etc.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And what is the capital of? And there was a big database with all of the answers.
Yeah. I think that's quite similar to my first game was made in C++
Hmm.
actually.
Hmm.
And I remember putting like as a word guessing game, and I
Yeah,
put the whole Oxford Dictionary in there.
all of
I
it.
think that's
All
like
right.
50,000 words or something, and there were some
A lot of
words
typing, right?
that are so like obscure. I mean, I just like found I can't remember how I found it, but I found like a dictionary that was separated by new lines, which made
Mhm.
life so easy. Um, and then I just read from the file, so it wasn't too bad to be
All
honest.
right. So in the beginning, you just typed it all.
Yeah, so in the beginning I remember typing out like I think the first word that I ever typed out was like chimney or hamster or something like that.
Yeah. Not
And
aardvark.
no, no.
No, not.
And then I was like, okay, I'll see if I can put the dictionary into the game.
Yeah.
And I did it. I actually did it in like I think it must have taken me about just over 2 hours or so. But when I did it, I was like, whoa, how did I? I was so amazed. But yeah, that was thinking back to it. That was really bad for like performance wise. Like if that wasn't text based, the game would have
Hmm.
actually exploded because I think it was
Yeah.
just a giant array and it just took a random one, which yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. I imagine a program like this. If the word is aardvark, then this.
Yeah.
Else, if the word is that, then that. Else, if the word is that, then that, etc.
Oh no,
It
so
would be even worse.
yeah, that would. Oh my god, could you imagine actually having
Yeah.
to like, yeah, oh, so, m-
Better idea. Yeah.
uh, more about Holocene.
Yeah.
Are there any features that you have planned that like, you've been maybe putting to the side a lot or anything?
To the side. So the features that I'm not going to put in Holocene, right?
Well, okay, let me rephrase that. That just turned out so badly. What other
I'm
features
Dutch,
do you
right?
have planned?
What features? Well, for starters, I'm how to say that? We're having characters, people,
Mhm.
and they will learn all kinds of skills to do, like archery, fire making, building, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So the game would be to have the people learn all these things, teach each other stuff like that, and that's supposed to be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I can for some reason I can hear the people. Like if it was a Stone Age simulator or Stone Age themed, I can imagine them going like unga bunga.
Yeah, I know who I'm going to commission for the voices, Agabuga and stuff.
Yeah. I will be definitely able to do that. Yeah.
Very good.
Just put me in the credits.
I will.
Caveman 1.
Caveman 1. Yeah. The Agabuga line will be by Matt. Right?
Yeah. I just say Unga Bunga, that's it. No more, because that's two out of my skill set.
That is your skill set, so you can make podcasts, games, and say Unga Bunga all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe all my games should have Unga Bunga as the
all of them
as the dialogue. Yeah, every single one. Yeah.
It sounds like The Sims.
Yeah. The Sims, they only speak one word.
Unga bunga.
Yeah, I mean it does actually sound like The Sims, to be honest, when you think about it.
Yeah.
So are there any game what type of games do you like to make the most, do you reckon?
Do I like to make the most?
What would you find the most fascinating?
To make?
Yeah.
It's a difficult question because I started out making a RPG game that I put on the shelf, and later I turned to the RTS, which I put on the shelf. I made a little Endless Runner, which I kind of finished, and it was fun. And I made a little platformer game, which I finished. And that was
I remember that. Oh, I remember I remember seeing that actually. Yeah, that brings back a lot of memories.
my platformer.
Yeah. I remember.
I had this nice video of my wife playing it. You can't understand Dutch, but it's all by Game's fault that she didn't make it. It's all it's not her, none of it is her fault.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what every gamer. I mean, I'm not sure if you can really call them gamers, but that's what everyone. That's what you call everyone. I don't even know. Like everyone does that. Everyone blames the game.
Yeah, it's always the game. I remember I have a brother, and he's 2 years younger than me, and we used to play a very old black and white football game. And it was I played the right half of the keyboard, and he played the left half of the keyboard.
Damn, yeah.
And every time I scored a goal, it was because his keystrokes were not picked up.
Yeah, of course. No, it must be correct.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember.
And I did not have that issue at all. So when he scored,
maybe it was your side of the keyboard, you know.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I remember. I'm not sure if you've heard of the game Gang Beasts.
Yeah.
But I back in its early stages, a few years ago, like very early stages, like alpha build sort of start time.
Yeah.
Me and my cousin would play on it, and this is before I really. I mean, it sounds stupid thinking back to it now, but this is before I knew you could use controllers. And anyway, we remapped the keys so we could use. One person would use the left side, and one person would use the right side.
Yeah.
And it was so, like, thinking back to it, it makes no sense why on earth we didn't just plug in a controller. But actually, I'm not sure if controllers were a big thing. No, like, it must have been 5 years ago or something. So I don't think they were a huge thing.
You had gamepads?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think I had much of an idea of what I was doing back then, to be honest. I mean, this is just, like, not even a year into my programming, so I guess I mustn't have been smart enough yet.
You learn.
But yeah, I remember my cousin, he would always blame it on the keys as well. Like, not. I mean, he would blame it on the game as well. Actually, he'd blame it on anything other than himself.
Mhm. That's
But
human, right?
yeah, I mean that is human. You can't blame it on yourself.
Never, never, ever.
I mean programmers like we usually just sort of be like we're sort of like that must have been me slipping up on a key. That's why there's a typo. Yeah, not me. It's just
No,
it's,
never.
no. I would never make a mistake like that. Never.
No, never, never.
Yeah, I mean it's hilarious. What?
Especially not these semicolons.
Oh yeah.
I used to have this editor that didn't recognize the semicolon problem. Now we have this, how's it called, Visual Studios and stuff like that. But I used to have those editors that didn't pick up on the syntax errors. So I could be looking for a semicolon for hours. Something is wrong on in this script, but I have no idea why. And then I let one of my colleagues look at that, and they say, on line number 4 there is no semicolon.
Oh gosh, no. I absolutely hate that. I mean, it's like I think that's why. So my first programming language was Python, and obviously that's an interpreter rather than a compiler. So it's like line by line. So if you make an issue, you do know where the issue is. But now like you switch to a compiler and you're like, okay, let me just read through this again.
And sometimes it is the data that you're or the properties or stuff like that, variables that somehow get the wrong value.
Yeah, I'm having that issue right now in my mobile game. For some reason, the value is changing when it's not changing. I mean, it makes so much sense. But yeah, it's like adding by 2 when I'm not asking it to add by 2 anywhere. Like Control F hasn't saved my life. God damn it.
And by the end, it was you who did it.
Oh
right?
yeah. I'm gonna look back at it and be like, how on earth did I actually miss out on this?
That's so fate, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not my fault. It's clearly Unity.
Yeah, it's that mosquito that you were slapping.
Yeah, because there's definitely mosquitoes in England.
Yeah, no, well, you had no idea.
Yeah, maybe a mutant fly. I was trying to sort out a mutant fly. You never know.
No idea what that is, but probably some sort of mosquito, right?
Yeah, exactly. It must be. So,
right.
What has been the best source of help for your game development, do you think?
The best one? I don't think I can answer that one because...
There's so many.
Yes, there are so many.
Okay, so if like video tutorials helped you the most, or
have
you found
almost only video tutorials.
Right, yeah.
That helps a lot, and finding out myself because I am a programmer.
Yeah, that's what all programmers do.
Yeah, and I'm not programming in the office. I'm not programming in anything like C# or in Python or even Basic, but there's this mindset
that you still have to learn. Yeah. No, I completely understand that. I mean, I do that a lot. Quite a lot of the time, I think of like a game idea, and I immediately think of how to execute it.
Yeah.
Even though like the idea isn't developed, I just like I have like that programmer brain where you're like, how could I do that? And then you search it up, like sometimes, and you find out new stuff. So yeah, like I remember
how the best
I
ideas
used to
happen, right?
Yeah, exactly. I remember I used to read through a lot of the Unity documentation, and surprisingly, that helped a lot more than you would think. Like, I mean, I don't really know how it worked because I don't know how my brain was like, yep, that's I completely understand that, but I mean, I'm not gonna argue with it. I know it now. But I'd say for me, actually, a lot of like you have like those guides on like websites and stuff. A lot of the time, those are really helpful when they give you like the source code and everything that you can copy. And well, I don't really copy and paste any of the source code. I just sort of try to understand it and then I write it myself, so you learn it. Because
Yeah.
I've learned copy and pasting it really ruins your life.
Yes, you have to know exactly what you're copying and pasting.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And like the other day, I just started learning 3D game development, and oh, my brain cells
Ooh.
have fried like at least 2/3 of them at least. But yeah, I was investigating about what is it? Shaders, and
Yeah.
yeah, my brain it's not really up to it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's not too bad once you really figure it out. I mean, it's just a lot of experimentation, and then you get what you want. But
Yes. And I think that Brackeys also has
yeah, that's
quite some
I definitely didn't
tutorials
use
for
his
them.
water shader tutorial at all. But
Yeah, he's got other ones, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite hard to get into 3D game development from 2D. It's very weird. I feel like I wish I kind of started with 3D now and gone to 2D,
Yeah.
but yeah, well, I mean,
Well,
I
you
don't know
to
what I
get
like
used
more.
to it, I guess, because
Uh-huh.
there's stuff like the nav mesh in Unity, because you're using Unity too, right? And that helps a lot. You don't have to figure everything out yourself. That's a
Right.
lot more stuff to work with, I think.
Okay. Well, I'll have to like use my brain later.
You have 1/3 left, right?
Yeah, 1/3 left. Oh no,
Right.
I have to separate that and like try and work on Puppy Gun as well. Yeah.
And that makes you more stupid every day, right?
Yeah, I mean, each day it's just halving, and like
Yeah.
one day I'll have like 1,000th of a brain cell left,
Yeah.
and I'll just be like, "Hi, I'm a YouTuber." It would be quite funny.
YouTuber, yeah. Fashion vlogger, right?
Yeah.
You can always become a fashion vlogger.
Oh my god, I actually could not imagine myself being a vlogger or a fashion vlogger either. Maybe
You cannot
one,
become
maybe
a fashion vlogger.
yeah,
Right.
maybe one video. Like I should do like a. Oh, I already know an April Fool's jokes. Let's hope nobody's listening. Just like make a vlog video and be like, "Hey guys, I'm actually changing my channel to a vlogging channel now." Oh, that'd be funny.
Good idea. Good idea.
Yeah, I absolutely love just doing something stupid. I mean,
It'll
that's-
bring subscribers, right?
Yeah, exactly. You gotta get those.
Because whatever you say about these people, they have subscribers. You have 200 of them, right?
219 or something.
19. Right.
Yeah, I don't know how it's happened because like not even a few weeks ago, a few days ago, I hit 200, but I suddenly just jumped up. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I must have done something right.
Yes, I guess so.
I mean, I hope so.
Your latest videos are better and better. Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm going for. But yeah, I'm working towards a schedule now, so hopefully I can get a lot more videos and a lot more productive stuff going on.
Yeah. Well, what are you planning to do then?
I'm planning to do 5 videos every 2 weeks and a tutorial every 2 weeks as well. So I don't know what the tutorial is going to be about, but I'll have to try and think of something. But yeah, I think that would be quite a good way to pay back the community because I'm doing. I'm going to be reviving game dev tips and doing the tutorial as well, which will help at least a couple of people out.
What's the difference between those two?
So tutorial would be more like, Unity and C# and stuff, whereas game dev tips would be more like practices within game development, like I don't know,
like Thomas Brush.
like getting started and stuff like that. Just some. So I think the last one I did was the student game dev, and like, is it actually worth being a student game dev? So,
and it is.
I think so. I mean, I don't think I really have the like perspective to really say it's worth it as such to give like a definitive conclusion because
Mhm.
I've only ever been a student game dev,
Yeah.
so I have nothing else to compare it to. But I do
Mhm.
think that like as a
Yeah.
student game dev, you can learn a lot more because you're in that
Mhm.
learning
Sure.
mindset. So.
Yeah. 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 Surely. Yeah.
So do you have any tips for people that are starting out with game development?
Any tips?
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally anything.
Any tips? Well, something that I just do not do is keep your projects small.
Oh, yeah. Let's be
Yeah.
honest, right?
Yeah.
Nobody does that, and
I
I
know. I know.
guarantee people hearing this, they're gonna
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, actually, I'm just gonna ignore that." Do not ignore it. I'm telling you, the amount of times that I've ignored it, I've ignored
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
you have this selfish mindset at the beginning. I remember it
Yeah.
myself when I was like, "Oh yeah, I won't listen to these game devs even though they have, 2 more years of experience than I do.
Mhm.
I won't
Yeah.
listen to them because I'm just gonna see and hope." And that was
Mhm.
the most stupid thing I've ever done in my life.
Well, but it's not only that you decide not to listen to those people, but you have those ideas in your head, and they become your children, and you
hmm
want to make those games.
Yeah. Just make sure you really start small, and
Mhm.
it
Don't
doesn't.
listen to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I, I didn't start small really. I mean,
Mhm.
to begin with, I started small. I made two or three small games, and then I jumped
Yeah.
right into bigger projects.
Yeah.
I think I remade Snake,
Yeah.
remade Pong, and
Yeah.
made my text-based game,
Yeah.
and that was all my small games, and then it was just like, okay, now I'm gonna make some bigger games.
Mhm.
But to be fair, I have
Yeah.
learned a lot from the bigger projects, and you will
Yeah.
learn
Yeah.
that when those projects do fail, because they are going to fail, it's the
Mhm.
really annoying truth. Like if
Yeah.
it's your first project, you're gonna have at least one failed big project.
Yeah. Surely. Yes.
I mean, you definitely learn a lot. I definitely learned a lot from Grapple Story and Hidden
Mhm.
in Darkness. I mean, even
Yeah.
though it's been the most annoying 6 months of of my time,
Yeah.
I've learned the most in those six
Yeah.
months as well. So,
And so that we
hmm
not just putting everything on GitHub, checking
yeah.
everything.
Please make sure that you don't just
Yeah.
put it on GitHub. I mean,
Mhm.
I completely regret that now. So the first time I forgot to back it up at all. The second
Mm.
time I back it up on GitHub and then nowhere
Yeah.
else. And this time I'm backing it up on GitHub and locally.
Yeah.
I'm not losing this project. It's not happening. They
Yeah.
can't, and as they say, third time's the charm, right?
Mhm.
So
Don't tell them. I I don't have the third time yet. I want this one to be a success, right?
yeah, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure you'll be fine. Just make sure you back your game up.
Yeah.
and
Learn
uh,
from your
and
mistakes, so I don't have to make them anymore.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, just
Mhm.
use me to test the mistakes. That's fine. Totally fine.
You can make all my mistakes.
Yeah. I mean, it might be a bit difficult for some of them. I mean, you do live in a different country, so some of
We
them
do.
might be difficult to do. But yeah, I'll see what I can do, Tommy. Don't worry, I've got you
How
covered.
nice. How nice.
Yeah, great friend. That's what great friends
Yeah.
make mistakes for their friends.
If you ever want me to make mistakes on a small project, just
Yeah.
let me know. I will start some project and screw it up.
Fantastic.
Because that's what friends are for, right?
Yeah, exactly. That is what friends are for.
Right.
It's totally not, like for your support and your happiness or anything. It's just about making sure they do your mistakes.
Yes.
Oh, it sounds so selfish. Oh. So,
I am a bit selfish, right?
yeah, well, I mean, we're game devs. It's what we all do. We all
Yeah,
have a
game
selfish
devs.
side to us.
Yes, we're all those computer people,
hmm
and the computer people are kind of nerds.
Yeah,
and nerds
kind
don't
of.
know. Yes, we are very much nerdy.
Yeah.
We are all like Sheldon in Big Bang Theory.
If you
And
don't if you've never played D&D, then you also like you're not a nerd enough.
I never did play D&D.
Ah, you're not a nerd enough then. It is fun to play. I mean, definitely shows that you're a nerd when you play. uh,
Probably.
yeah,
That must be
it's
some
very.
nerdy thing.
Mhm.
I did play Magic the Gathering in the
Ah,
days.
well, at least you've played a board game. That's good enough.
Yeah.
That's I
Am I
think.
nerdy enough?
Yeah, you pass. You pass as a nerd.
Right.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
no worries, man. I've got you covered again.
Oh,
uh,
oh, nice.
so
Yeah.
3D game development.
Yeah.
So did you start with 3D game development?
In Unity?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's quite ironic. We've swapped around.
Mhm.
I started with 2D and now I'm just starting out with 3D. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean 3D going from 2D to 3D is I was about to say it's a completely other dimension, but of course it is.
Literally.
But it does add like so much to like the game development process. It's so strange making a 3D game. I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's so fascinating because then when you do realize that it's a 3D game, you're like, hang on, that's like, close to industry standards.
Immediately.
Yeah, exactly. It can be the
Yeah.
worst 3D game ever.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, it's been a very difficult thing to do. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never really thought about it. I mean, I thought about it right at the very start of my game development stuff, and that was with Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
And I got scared of Unreal Engine. I left it. So
Yeah.
I think that may be the reason why I don't want to do 3D now, because obviously Unreal Engine its focus is 3D because of its graphical like capabilities and stuff. So
Mhm.
I guess I don't know, maybe that's why I didn't do 3D until now, but and also because I
you
didn't
were
have a
scared.
yeah, I was terrified.
Yeah.
And also I didn't have a 3D modeler, but this time I do, so I guess that does kind of help. But I do want to do some 3D models on my own because I
Yeah.
do
On
have
Blender or
some.
something.
Yeah, I do have some experience with Blender. I can't find the models anymore, but
Yeah.
a couple years ago, I did take a Blender course,
Mm-hmm.
and how much I remember of that is quite unknown. But I guess we can.
Unknown.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, learning 3D game development it's super super fun because
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a really learny person. I don't even know if that's the right phrase, but like
Learny. Yes, you're learny.
I get really productive when I'm learning something. So like the past 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever have been my most productive weeks of development for so long, and I think that's because one, I'm learning a mobile game, how to make a mobile game, which is really fun to work on, and you can see the results quickly as well. It's not like PC where like it's on the same platform. It's not as fun. And then 3D obviously is a completely different thing. So it's definitely making me learn a lot, and it's really weird though. Like I'm sort of like, am I actually making a 3D game? What? Like, the only problem is like I'm not really sure like where to go from where I am. Like, I don't know how to make spawner stuff. I mean, I know how to make it, but I'm scared to make it. It's weird. It's so strange.
You're scared to spawn stuff?
Yeah. I don't know how to explain it. Like in the game I'm working on,
Yeah.
I need a spawner to spawn ducks in random positions.
Yeah.
And I'm just sort of like, it's like I'm procrastinating and being like, I don't want to do it yet. I mean, I'm sure it's not as bad as I think. I'm probably I just need to like do it. I mean, that's.
Are you making an endless runner or a shooter or?
It's hard to say because I don't want to spoil too much. You see, I'm I haven't even announced this yet to to everyone, so it's the first time people are hearing about it. But I'm probably going to do like a devlog in the next well, this is my dad's birthday present, right? That's the
Yeah, you told
idea.
it. Yeah.
So that would make really good content for a devlog. But yeah, I mean, it's a shooter, kind of. It's an arcadey shooter thing.
From the days when your parents were young.
Exactly. So actually this idea came from my dad, and he's been telling me to make this game for literally a year. And if I was exaggerating, I mean, I wish I was exaggerating, but I'm not. It's been a year, and I've been saying, that game idea is absolutely stupid, but you know what? I'm doing it now because I'm gonna learn a lot from it, so I might as well just do it. So but yeah, he kept going on and on about it, and when Grapple Story failed, he was like, he was like, oh man, isn't this a great opportunity for you to make Mr. Tubby? And I was like,
Mr. Tubby?
Yeah, that's the game name.
The game name is Mr. Tubby.
Mr. Tubby, yeah.
All right.
Fantastic.
Okay. Thanks for joining. Really.
It's
okay.
It's a very strange game idea, and some of the stuff he said, I have no idea how on earth to implement it because, I've never made a 3D game, but hopefully this is gonna work. I've got, how long is it? I've got about 45 days, around about that, less than that even. I've got about 45 days to get this done. So the pressure's on basically, but it's like a game jam, but longer.
A long game jam.
Yeah, a long game jam. And I'm also October 4th. Yeah, October 4th is Ludum Dare, isn't it? So I'm going to be participating in that with the team as well. So that should be fun. Are you working on you going to be doing it, or do you not know yet?
Not sure. I never did a game jam.
Mm-hmm.
I how did you say it? I told the people that were organizing it that I was joining the game jam for people who can draw.
Mm-hmm.
But I never did, actually.
That's fair. I mean, you should definitely try it. It's a really cool experience. It's a little bit stressful, but at the same time, you do learn a lot from it. I learn a lot of the stuff that I know now from game jams. So yeah, you should try to compete in one. I mean, maybe not Ludum Dare, but at least one, because it's fun.
But you're joining it, and then you have spare time, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have a lot of spare time at the weekends. So I have a 4-day weekend. So
4-day weekend.
Yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, but I still work quite hard.
Those young people they have still such difficult life.
I mean, I do work a lot. I edit a lot of videos. I record a lot of videos. No, it's fine. Don't worry. But yeah, we're gonna be participating in that, so that's gonna be fun.
I saw that they were voting on the topic today, right?
Yeah. So the way Ludum Dare works is they have like voting stages, and this is the third voting stage today, and then tomorrow I think might be the final voting stage. I'm not sure though. And then on the actual day we'll get like what the theme is. So let's hope it's not something really terrible. I mean, there's 5 of us working on it, so that's insane.
You have a team of 5.
Yep.
All right.
So we have
those 2 people that you made the other game, the game that you did the talking.
Yeah, that one. And one of my college friends is joining us, and also a musician. So
musician. All right.
So we'll get some cool music.
That's cool.
So yeah, that should be it should be. It's gonna be weird working with 5 people. I've never worked with so many.
Yeah. But you did enjoy the last project, right?
Yeah,
With the other
it's
guys.
really fun. I mean, the main project that I'm working on is with this team of 3 as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe it might be a team of 5 as well. We
Mhm.
might. I mean, I guess we'll see if they want to join us afterwards.
Mhm.
But yeah, the main project is a team project, so that's really fun.
Yeah.
It definitely makes life a lot easier for me. I don't have to do as much. I mean, I do a
Yeah.
lot of level design and dialogue and stuff, so that's
Yeah.
what I've been working on. Hence why devlogs are really hard to get out for it, because
Mhm.
like I am not really doing a lot of the programming for right now because there's not
Mhm.
much to show.
Yeah.
I mean, I made a climbing mechanic and that was basically it. And the next objective is to work on some levels. So
Yeah.
and we recently switched over from Unity Collab to GitHub. So
To GitHub, just
yeah,
GitHub, right?
yeah,
Nothing else.
GitHub.
Nothing else. Only GitHub.
Why did you say nothing else?
Because last time you used just GitHub.
Oh no, we have
Oh.
local backups. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay.
We're backing. I meant like we switched from Unity Collab
Yeah.
to
Okay.
using GitHub, as
Okay.
well as backups. I don't worry. I back up every time I
Yeah.
make a change. I can guarantee you that USB
Yeah.
stick is being used.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean.
Because if you don't learn from that mistake, you just deserve it, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's. I'll be paying it back basically
Yeah.
if I don't learn from my mistake, which I should do, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this project definitely is it's right up my street. I'm not sure if you use that phrase, but it's definitely really what I want to do. It's
Yeah.
so fun.
Is that city RPG thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's not
Yeah.
really an RPG anymore. It's like a city
Okay.
platformer, but
Platformer. Okay.
imagine Mirror's Edge with superpower people.
Yeah.
That's roughly what we're going for.
I don't think I know a Mirror's Edge, right?
Oh,
By the
you
way.
don't know Mirror's Edge?
No.
Okay, well, just imagine parkour with
Yeah.
a city parkour thing with
Yeah.
superpower people.
Okay.
But
Some
yeah,
sort of Assassin's Creed, but then budget.
yeah, budget Assassin's Creed, exactly.
All right.
But
Budget Assassin's Creed.
It it's very fun to work on because it's
I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, I hope so.
Mhm.
So, what are you going to be working on in the future? Do you think?
After Holocene?
I mean, it depends after Holocene or during Holocene.
Different projects, right? Phew. Well, I might just make some small games. So I would like to make a mobile game once, and
Yeah.
I make my own little game jams on my own.
Yeah,
That's how I made those 2 small ones.
Mm-hmm.
And right now I don't really have other ideas. Just well, what happens with me is that I just sit on my bike and I see something,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think, that's interesting.
Make
Can I
it to a
make a
game.
game? And it doesn't matter what it is.
Uh-huh.
It can be riding your bike to the train station game, or it can be if I read a book on the Roman history, then I imagine what if you were a Roman soldier and you try to climb the ranks, get in a good book with the generals, and try not to die but seem courageous in the fights. Stuff like that. That crossed my mind once, because just I was reading a book on how some certain soldier did, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Always look
isn't
around
that what
you
every
and-
game
yeah.
dev does? We
I
just
guess
sort of
so.
like, oh, there's a tree. Wow, imagine that being a giant enemy that murders pigs. I mean, I literally just looked at a tree and thought that, like...
Yeah. But that's how it works.
Uh-huh. Damn, that tree looks really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that's it for the podcast.
It was fun.
It was fun. I mean, it's been a very good chat.
How long have you chatted now?
45 minutes.
45 minutes.
It did not feel like that, I'll be honest. It felt like about 10.
10, maybe 15.
Yeah, but well, thanks so much for joining me.
No problem.
And I'll see you later. Also, actually, before that, do you have anyone you want to shout out, like maybe that be on Twitter or whatever?
I want to shout out, everybody follow this guy.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
See, guys, make sure you thanks to the shout out, you know.
Yeah. That is a shout out.
Magical.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, I'll see you later.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Bye.
Bye.